Welcome back. Another episode of Let's Be Real Sports Podcast. Talking about Analysts today. How everybody doing?
Doing great. How are y'all?
Feeling good.
I'm back, man. I'm back.
Feeling good, feeling great, feeling much better. I ain't got the troll from the comment section no more. I'm front and center now. So
Man, watch the trolls in the comment section.
Yeah.
Facts.
It's another year older, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm starting to see gray hairs everywhere, you know.
Beautiful.
Even though I'm the youngest on this mud, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to y'all old heads for keeping me young. That's all I got to say.
You've been hanging around us so long, you're about up there in age just as much as we are.
Yeah. I love y'all OGs, man. Shout out to y'all, man.
OG. Get into some real talk this week, not troll talk, Savage.
Troll this week, man.
That's me kicking it off, right? Yeah. So speaking of OGs, which I think this person is an OG, but the greatest of all time, Simone Biles has been in the news this week as she gets ready for some of her Olympic events. She actually pulled herself out of some of her events due to a mental health break that she said that she needed. So again, as you know, as players, as you know, some of these high figures, you know, they say they want to take a step back. They need a mental break. There's always some criticism that comes along with that. People aren't understanding of that, in my opinion. Some people aren't, receiving that as much as well as they should. So definitely want to get you guys' opinion on, what she may be going through, what she did earlier this week. Maybe we can, help out some of these other analysts, I guess, to maybe get where she's coming from with potentially, taking a mental health break. So actually, let's go in the order of that we have it on the screen. Now I'll go last after Trevor.
All right. So COVID. Let's just start with COVID. Mental health has become a huge part of everyone's lives, especially since COVID is hit. So now you're seeing athletes more. I think Naomi Osaka, about a month or two ago, had a mental health break from tennis. Now you're seeing how athletes, they go through all this preparation. They go through all of this, it's a mental thing along with physical preparation. So she did. I think I heard a story where she started off. She did a flip and she didn't see the ground or something. She blacked out something mid-air or whatever. And think about that. Just think about that for a second. That's scary. And that's just something she just knew. Hey, I'm not totally here. Whatever's going on is something eating at her. I think they do. I don't know if they have to necessarily quarantine there. I think it's something along those lines. They do have strict COVID protocols there. So I'm tired of these know-it-alls. It's calling her selfish. She took out her individual drills, her individual things as well. This wasn't no selfish act. This was let me take care of myself act. So I'm tired of that whole criticisms. Mental health is real, and I thought that as a world, we was coming around to believing that.
Couldn't have thought that. Couldn't have.
Obviously, yeah. Obviously, not the case. And it's sad that it got to that point. I'm proud of her for acknowledging it. And even now, she's taking it day by day, still thinking. She didn't necessarily give up on her other things until the day before. She's still trying to gather herself to get back into these drills, but she found herself not being able to. And I understand. So I'm tired of these analysts, but it is what it is. We just have to overcome this.
I'm with you, bro. Mental health is definitely serious, and shout out to these women who, when I say these women, Miss Biles and Miss Osaka as well, for speaking, up for mental mental health. Like there are a lot of things that, you know, they're going through right now that we don't necessarily see being out there in Tokyo. I'm sure it's not under the best circumstances, right? And of course, we got COVID going on. So a part of me, I get everything that they're going through, but a part of me also kind of understands, I'm not to the disrespectful point, but I understand the disappointment in not wanting to see your favorite Olympian participate, you know, in this Olympics, you know what I'm saying? And to, you know, say that, oh, it's because of mental health. You have those certain individuals who understand. You have those certain individuals who don't understand and would like to learn more. And shout out to these women for, you know, sharing their mental, you know, health battles throughout this time. And you have those people, Sharky, like you call them, the analysts, who damn right just don't understand and don't care. They just have their own way of life, their own thing, that if it's not their way or the highway. And we seeing that with the people that are talking about the people that are saying, you know, forget this. So, and it's all honestly the same color people that's talking crap about the people that look like us that's saying they've had enough with these games, you know. Like I said, of course, I feel the disappointment. I was looking forward to seeing Simone Biles do her thing and win more gold, but she's won enough. And the fact that people are calling her a quitter, she's won enough. She, even if she was to retire, if this was the last time we seen Simone Biles or Osaka, they be Hall of Famers. They be go down as some of the best and some of the most influential women to ever play their respective sports. So I get it. I get the disappointment, but to call them out and call them cheaters and everything outside their name is just, it's downright whack to me. So that's all I got to say on that
one. I've been on record of not necessarily being harshly critical of like Kyrie Irving, for example, but critical in the way that, like, if you are taking like a mental health break, at least communicate like what you like, express how you're doing, what is your process to get back to where you are. Talk us, like those who are fans in the media, talk us through like what does it feel like to go through what it is you're feeling. So Simone Biles did just that. Like she put like an Instagram story that kind of channeled what was going on with actual video evidence of her having like she called it twisties, I think. Where she was like flipping and she fell like on her back and she wasn't landing on her feet. Now that's on like a soft surface. Imagine her on that hard surface where she would actually perform on. She could like, you know, break her back, her leg or whatever. So I definitely appreciate that part of the conversation that Simone Biles has had with us as fans and the media as well too. But the main thing is, like Tuka and Sharky mentioned, mental health is real, man. Like you have to take care of your physical body as well as your mental as well too. That's probably more important, not the same importance, you know, having both. Like we had a counselor come in for our professional development 2 weeks ago, and she mentioned that we get our primary care, but we need to have like a counselor as well too to check on how we're doing mentally. So I'm happy. As long as she's good, you know, I'm good. If she's not good, then, you know, sit out, do what you got to do, take a break. I mean, we all got PTO at our jobs, man. Like, when I was a teacher, bro, like, I literally quit mid-semester because it was too much of a mental toll on me. So, like, who am I to judge somebody for taking a break from, you know, their profession because it's just so much going on with you mentally that you literally cannot do your job. So, yeah, Simone Biles, I mean, I have no doubt that she'll come back better than ever. She's only like 23, 24 years old, I think, something like that. So she still got a Olympic career. But like to mention, like she's done enough already. Like she is the GOAT. Like nobody's gonna argue, is anybody better than Simone Biles at her sport? I'm not arguing that. Ain't nobody better than her. So Simone Biles, get better, get right, and you know, we with you. If nobody with you, we with you.
All right. First thing is I'll say is that mental health is always convenient until it's an inconvenience. To everyone's point, I do commend Simone Biles for choosing herself in this whole situation. To Tuke's point about having people that understand, people that don't understand, and people who just don't want to understand, it's not for any of us to understand, period. Like if a person feels the need to take a mental health break, then it's really not up to us to even try to understand what's going on. And even to Savage's point about the whole situation with Kyrie, if he's not comfortable sharing what he's going through mentally, then that's not for us to play on. That's up to him. When he gets to that point where he wants to share what was going on with him, then we'll be a little bit more receptive. And then from that point, we can be understanding. So for all these people to come out, these analysts, as you say, to come out and say what they've said against Simone Biles, it's just their way of being quote unquote patriotic, if you will. It's just trying to hold the American flag in front of them or have it dripped over them like a cape and just talk all this stuff about Simone Biles, man. But lastly, I'll say I'm glad that she's taking everything, that she's taking the steps. Glad she's taking it a day at a time. And we as a society is going downhill because I've never seen a society be more outraged at a person choosing herself and her mental health than an actual pedophile who was in the same realm for their matter, in the gymnastics realm. So, but again, kudos to Simone Biles. You are ready to go. You've done more than enough for this country in your profession, and you got plenty of time left. So whenever you're able to come back, we'll be looking forward to seeing you. So get well soon.
Yeah, y'all, excuse me. I think my internet is acting a little funky, but I try to go through as best as I can. Yeah, so a huge shout out to Simone Biles for, having at least the mental capacity to, just say during that time, on a huge stage to say, I can't compete right now because right now mentally I'm not at my best. And what I would like for these other analysts, these people who feel like they have a decent enough platform to talk bad about her, to call her. So I think there was some guy on Twitter, and I do not know his name, and it's not important enough for me to know his name, but that probably had me more upset than anything else the rest of that's happened this week, because he called her selfish. Like, she has been on the Olympic teams, if I'm not mistaken, since like 2013. The chick, she has over 30 medals alone in that span since 2013, and for him to call her selfish is absolutely beyond me. Like, I think we all understand the importance of mental health. We all understand the importance of taking your time when you're mentally aren't there. But it's the people who have these jobs and they can take time off, but it's those same people who can't accept the likes of Naomi Osaka, Simone Biles, LeBron James, Steph Curry, whoever the case may be. It's those people I have an issue with that can't accept that these people need time just as much as we do. If anything, they probably go harder for their job or in their career more than we do, because it's almost just as simple for us to say, okay, cool, I'm taking off on August 2nd or August 3rd, and then we do that. For these people, for these athletes, it's not that easy. They have to train, multiple times a day, like throughout the day, throughout the year. And for these people to call them selfish or to say, they don't have the right to do that is stupid. And I'm just at the point where, it's very frustrating, and people really have to understand the importance of mental health.
Yes, indeed. So, anybody got any last comments? Okay, so let's move forward to the NBA. First up, before we start, do want to give a shout out to Team USA for blowing out the opponents that they were supposed to blow out. We're going to talk about them when they lose. We need to give them their credit when they do what they're supposed to do as well. So, shout out to them blowing out.
And King Durant for breaking a record.
That too.
Yeah. Yeah, 23 points on 8 shots.
Yeah. We're still Team King Giannis right now, though. But Trevor, what happened? What's the big breaking news?
All right, the breaking news from this week, which sends shockwaves through the entire NBA universe. The Los Angeles Lakers, if you will, executed a trade with the Washington Wizards to acquire Russell Westbrook in a deal in exchange for Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, Montrezl Harrell, Kyle Kuzma, and the 22nd pick in this past week's NBA draft. which Washington then flipped to the Indiana Pacers. So Russ is now a Laker. And then there's rumors, of course, about DeMar DeRozan looking to join the team, but that's another question for another time. So I'm going straight for the juggler. I'm going to start with the Lakers fans first, because as much as flack as they give Russell Westbrook, I really want to hear this. So where is July 31st? So how long, Savage, I'll start with you since it's shaped up this way. How long before you guys are asking for Russell Westbrook to be gone out of LA? And of course, your thoughts on the trade.
So Russell Westbrook, he is a player that will never cheat you. No matter how frustrating it is, he's gonna go hard every night. I don't think there will ever be a game within the 82 plus playoffs that we will see where we look at Russ and say he didn't give me everything that he got. So that's out there. As far as the basketball fit of Westbrook with LeBron and AD, I don't even know what to expect, to be honest, because LeBron played point for his entire, well, not the entire time he's been there, but the past few years with AD, he played point. Westbrook is a point guard, so I'm assuming that this means LeBron's going to play off the ball in the post or whatever. I have no clue. AD playing the 5. I can't really predict what they're going to do. So I'm going to just focus on Westbrook, because Westbrook is somebody who I've criticized for a very long time as somebody who goes hard but is not a winning player. I've said that before. I think, oddly enough, this fit is going to be good because Westbrook is going to be motivated. I think he's going to fall in line with LeBron. LeBron's a very captivating leader. I don't think anybody will question LeBron. And then if you do, 9 times out of 10, you're getting shipped out of there as soon as possible. So I think that from like a basketball standpoint, like as far as like the energy of the team defensively, it's going to be good. Lakers were one of the best defensive teams in the league last year. I think it's going to be okay. I'm kind of chill on the Lakers right now because I don't give them any type of attention to the playoffs. I don't really care. Like it's like they're gonna make playoffs, whatever. But in a 7-game series is where it's gonna be interesting, depending on who they play. The West isn't that strong in my opinion, so I feel like even with the team as constructed, could still make the finals. But at some point, yeah, I'm gonna be frustrated with Russell Westbrook because he's gonna shoot like a 40-foot shot and hit the side of the backboard, and LeBron gonna be looking at him like J.R. Smith. So I don't know, man. We'll see. Information probably will change.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not sure exactly. I'm not sure exactly how they all fit. I think between Russ, LeBron, and AD, I think there's sacrifice that needs to be made from all 3 parts. And so it will be interesting to see if that truly happens. I think if anything, it's an upgrade in the sense that, you have a player that can dictate your offense, as LeBron goes into year 18, there's always discussion around AD, how healthy is he? How many games can he give you throughout the season? And so you have somebody like Russell Westbrook, who, if anything, of those 3 players can give you, if you ask him to play all 82, he can probably give you all 82. And I think that was a huge reason as to why the Lakers, got the 7 seed, why they were exited out the first round, just because they weren't healthy going into the playoffs and they had a bad seed. So if anything, Russell Westbrook can at least, if LeBron goes out, if AD misses 40, 50 games, then they can at least, with Russell Westbrook, he can at least give you, he's a better option, I will say that, more so than Dennis Schroeder. I'm still worried about, exactly the fit, because the only issue that I've had with Russell Westbrook since he's been in the league is his inability to shoot the ball. That is it. I have yet to see, times in which I'm like, damn, okay, he can consistently knock down this mid-range jumper. He can consistently knock down this open 3. If anything changes, maybe this is the year that changes, but I'm not sure about that. They are still in need of a shooter desperately. because LeBron isn't that much of a shooter. Russell Westbrook damn sure isn't that much of a shooter. And AD, if we're being 100 about it, he didn't shoot the ball well from the field last year either. So they still need that guy that can knock down 3-point shots. That was their issue last year. So it'll be interesting to see, if they can, there are players that they're linked to, whether that be Rudy Gay, whether that be Buddy Hield, whether it be DeMar DeRozan, who of those players that they can fit. Carmelo Anthony's up there too. So it'll be interesting to see, how they fill out the rest of the roster with only 5 people actively on the roster right now. So they have quite a bit of work to do, but I believe in Rob Pelinka to fill out the rest of the roster. It's a matter of if they can get a shooter, how many shooters they can get. But I at least like the upgrade in the sense that Russell Westbrook is better than Dennis Schroeder. Dennis Schroeder, Jesus Christ. Yeah. I would disagree with that.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. I mean, it's they'll figure it out.
So once I saw the trade, I hated it. I'm shout out to my guy Udari, so I'm staying with. He's a Lakers fan too. And I went to him. I was like, bro, like straight up, I think that the Lakers are honestly the favorites to win the championship. This just not me being a KD bias. That's not me. Just pure basketball, right? And I say that because, of course, you upgrade from Dennis Schroeder with Russell Westbrook, but now you get Of course, we talk about Russell Westbrook and his inability to shoot. But if you look at the NBA Finals, y'all, what do I always say? The jump shooting teams don't win a championship. Here's that. You got to get buckets. On a team with Russell, LeBron, and AD, of course, they're not shooters, but still, Savage, you say it all the time, who guard AD? Now you can actually put AD at the 5 comfortably. Why? Because Russell don't get his 10 rebounds a game. You pushing the floor, you giving it to LeBron. LeBron's going to – imagine Russ, I'm going to get the board. I'm going to pass it to LeBron. LeBron going to lob it up for Russell Westbrook. Get ready to see that most of all next season. I said the Showtime Lakers is back, but I'm going to wait because I do need to see who y'all fill out the roster with. I do need to see what shooters y'all do bring. I do need to see. I think y'all Kevin Love will fit perfectly with this team. I think a Buddy Hield would do good with this team. I mean, y'all getting players for the minimum. And at this point, Kevin Love done made 2 bags just sitting on the bench throwing the ball at people.
It's a former. I mean, they played college together, so
they played college ball together. That's his hometown. So I mean, hey,
they played college ball together like that was 3 years ago. So
I mean, they lost to the U of M, but shout out to UCLA. But I honestly like the Russ pick. I think if y'all were gonna go out to get Lonzo Ball, right? I think that you get in a way a more experienced Lonzo Ball. Russell, what I'm saying, he may have lost a step just by this much, but I mean, we saw what he did with the Wizards. What I'm saying, 15, 20 games into the season. I'm like, yo, the Wizards may do they looking to do something, and they went 18 for 20. Like that's because of Russell. Like I've seen Russell Westbrook defer to Brad Beal. I see him defer to James Harden. So all this is only one basketball. I mean, it's true, but it's what you do with it that'll put you in a win or lose situation. So definitely need to see who the Lakers bring on. But right now, I do put them ahead of the Nets because playing Blake Griffin at center is not going to do it. I'm sorry. So that's my thing. I think that, of course, this did make y'all better. And shout out to Russ for trying to get this ship.
Yeah, I disagree as well with Mad Gaming. If Brooklyn can work out, those are 3 scorers, and if health permits, they probably are champions right now. Right? They worked out while they played together. These 3 are willing passers. Russ don't need to take 20 shots. He had to take 20 shots in all his situations that he did. LeBron had to do that. AD had to do that. They don't. We realized in Brooklyn that this definitely can work. The problem will be they need shooters. DeMar DeRozan, no. There's absolutely no way you can bring DeMar DeRozan on this team because he doesn't fit the mold of what they would need around these 3 guys. They need the Buddy Hields. They need a Melo.
Yeah, I'll take Melo.
They need whoever is going to spot up at the 3-point line and shoot away lunch. You can bring J.R. Smith back if all I care because he can shoot and he's going to launch them. Kevin Love, their contract, they ain't got as much money left too, so he got to get a buyout.
Yeah,
they can't fit another big contract. They can't fit even a minimum mid-level
mid-level exception. Yeah.
It's straight minimums they got to put in around this roster. Hopefully they kept THT. Well, I think he's a restricted free agent, so hopefully nobody offers him a bag. So
he's gonna get a bag. He's gonna get a bag.
But yeah, I like the move. I've always said I always had this in my mind. I don't think I ever tweeted it out, but once KD left OKC, I always thought I was like I would be interested to see LeBron and Russ play together. So I finally get to see what I've always been intrigued by for 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, this for me, this is of course an immediate upgrade from Dennis Schroeder, as Skylar and Savage has put. It will be interesting to see how things work, but if Brooklyn can make it work, I'm pretty sure the Lakers can make it work. It's not an issue. It's just who they're going to fill out the rest of the roster with as far as shooter is concerned. And for those that may not be paying attention from the Washington side of things, it's just another way of like, okay, what are you doing as a franchise? Like, yeah, you have all this young talent now. You still have Bradley Beal on the squad who's come out and said that he's not going anywhere. So where are you going as a franchise? So that's pretty much all I have to say on that. It'll be interesting. It'll be fun to see this, because I'm just going to laugh watching y'all cheer for Russell Westbrook. Have as much as I defend him on this podcast and on social media, it's gonna be great.
Karma. That's the only thing we've ever said. He can't shoot the damn ball.
I always say there's only one person on planet Earth that can stop Russell Westbrook, and that's Russell Westbrook. Because, like you, I hate it when he shoots threes. Like if he cuts his attempts down, cuts threes off all the way together, he's pretty much unstoppable. He has a shaky mid-range, but it's a little more reliable than him shooting a three. I'll say that much. But
quiet as kept, the Wizards did have a nice second half of the season too, with Westbrook and Beal. Go ahead, Scott. Go ahead.
Come on, man.
and that's what I was going to say. Like if you look at the past couple years and the teams Russell Westbrook has been on, yes, he and whoever his running mate has been, they've struggled out the gate. But if you look at what the Wizards did at the end of the season last year, what the Rockets did as they were going into playoffs, he balled. And the thing about Russ, Bron, and AD is, as much as Russ attacks the basket, Bron attacks the basket, AD's attacking the basket when AD's being aggressive. If anything, that opens up a bunch of open threes or a bunch of open shots. And I think we've all seen enough NBA to where there's a difference between a contested jump shot and an open jump shot. It really doesn't matter who it is. If it's an open jump shot, that's damn near money. And I will say that whoever they fill out the rest of the roster with, that's open jumpers that a lot of those players will get, because Russ is going to take the basket, with no human regard. Same with Bron, same with AD. They will, for the most part, require double teams. And so again, whether it's DeRozan, whether it's Carmelo, those are open jump shots. And it's much different than when there's nobody in your hand, when there is nobody in your face, and you taking an open jump shot versus when it's contested. I'll say that.
Cool.
Strong case for all NBA last season. On this podcast, we made a very strong case for Russ for all NBA last season. Just letting you know.
All right, let's move on to the draft.
Yes, sir. So speaking of the draft, which was a couple days ago, shout out to us being real about Analysts, because on this day they were at their best. They had an ample amount of time to learn these players' names, and yet they still mispronounced them. I think I saw even a misspelling of one, and they had trolling going on with the player comparisons, but that's neither here nor there. My question to y'all, we don't have to go through the full draft. My question to y'all is, first starting off, who are the winners and the losers of the draft? We're going to start off with winners, same order, starting with Savage. Who did you think won this draft?
I think the biggest winner for me, and it's kind of like a cop-out, but I think Cade Cunningham's the biggest winner, man. Watching his interviews and his energy, like he got it. Like he just got it. I don't know if he'll be like LeBron or anything, but I think that his excitement to be in Detroit and the fact that he has like a good personality, he ready to go to work. They got 2 young other players there that made all rookie first team, and now you adding number 1 pick to that. You got Dwayne Case as a good coach. That division I think is open. I think they got like aside from like I think Milwaukee, you got like Cleveland, Indiana, who kind of up and down,
and Chicago.
Chicago. I mean you can win some games in the East. You can make the playoffs. So yeah, I'm gonna say Kay Cunningham's the biggest one.
Of course, a fellow Detroit native right here.
What up,
Uncle Mike?
Hey, real quick before Skylar goes, I had never seen my wife like so excited about anything sports related, unless it's dealing with Let's Be Real. But she literally asked me about Cade Cunningham, like, and she saw just everything that Savage talked about. If my wife is excited, I was like, "Yep, this is a start or something." So
yeah, they got an all-star. He's gonna be legit.
Yeah, I like Jalen Hurts, but go on, Scott.
Hey.
Oh,
Oh, you got.
Sorry, my Wi-Fi. Yeah, my Wi-Fi's still acting up. But I'm actually going to go with the Warriors. I think I like what the Warriors did with their 2 picks. They had the pick at 7 and the pick again at. I'm looking at it.
Don't mention 14, please don't.
Yeah, come on.
14. Sorry.
His name is.
They had the picks at 7 and 14. To pick up Jonathan, to pick up Kuminga, and sorry, to pick up Moses Moody, I think those were steals, especially that pick at 14. I'm sorry to people on this podcast. I'm sorry to Grizzlies people that are listening, but damn, to give Moses Moody at 14 and you just knew that he would have been there at 10 or he would have been taken at 10. I think that's a steal. I'm not sure if they actually needed those positions, but if anything, that adds depth to what they already had. Kuminga, I think, is really good. It's going to be really good defensively. You know, they're already going to be locked in depending on how Clay looks when he comes back. They still got Draymond. They still got, James Wiseman. And I believe when James Wiseman is good and healthy, he can play some pretty good defense. So they have, wing to play. They have, defensively what they need. But then to add another shooter in Moses Moody, which, I mean, we all saw religiously the tape of Moses Moody and his ability to, to make, I saw plenty of tape where it was, open threes, contested threes, pull-up jumpers. He got the whole bag. I'm sorry, to get him at 14 is a steal. So I'm going to go with the Warriors on that one. It hurts to say that.
They ain't got to work. I mean, the truth hurts in some cases. It is what it is, brother. Of course, just answer your question just a little bit. The bench was the Warriors' weakest part, of course. So to add 2, in my opinion, NBA-ready rookies with come off the G League, it makes the Warriors that much better and that much more fun to watch. I know they tried to trade out of it, but they said if we can't find no partners, we're going to trade for the best available, and they damn sure did that. So salute to them. But speaking of the G League, I think a winner in this one, believe it or not, is the Houston Rockets. I think with that second pick, they could have chosen anybody else. A lot of analysts didn't have Jalen Green going, top 2, top 3. But in my opinion, he's the best player in the draft. And to get him at number 2 for your rebuilding, shout out to Sheedy, for your rebuilding Rockets, I think that Jalen Green could come in, G League player. He know what the professional game's like now and do some damage. And if I would have picked a rookie of the year, honestly, he'd be my pick. He's a baller. We don't have to call out the stats of nothing, dude, but he hoops. He's a hooper. And like I said, I give him rookie of the year contention on that one, depending on how good the Rockets are.
100% agree with you. That man can get a bucket anywhere on the floor that he wants to.
Been a fan since
you talk about low-key. This is for you. You talking about low-key like T-Mac vibes? T-Mac could get he could damn near score wherever he wanted to too. And to be in Houston, I think that's a little bit of a Chico, but that man can freaking score the ball. I'll say that much.
And he's gonna have the ball in his hand, so I'm excited to see it.
Are you sure he's a hooper or a basketball player?
Too soon.
Jeez, man.
Had to do it.
Come on, man. I walked into it.
But what's crazy is the 3 choices y'all chose are I had a tie, 3-way tie with Detroit, go to stay in Houston. So Houston gets their James Harden replacement, Jalen Green. I think he's gonna be awesome. I think Cade Cunningham's gonna be great. Detroit, like Savage said, took all my points of them having two players on the all-rookie team. You still, and that wasn't even their highest pick last year. And Killian Hayes, the point guard that came over from I think France, he came from overseas. So Detroit, bright future, and Golden State. It said hurts. It hurts. It definitely hurts. Name my check us out on Starting Five Monday. Check us out on Starting Five Monday. The name of the episode is called Moody Fan Base. Check us out Monday. But Golden State, I mean, just like that, Golden State don't really, to me, they could make a trade with somebody, but they are fine just how they are. Bring Clay back in the fold. You got Bell on the bench. Jordan Poole was lighting it up at the end of the season. Then you add these two rookies, James Wiseman. Give them patience is key. We're trying to say that we're trying to talk our own selves into that for the Grizzlies, but patience is key. And go stay with James Wiseman. They can win the title with the current team constructed. So keep everybody roll it out. See how Andrew Wiggins fits. With Klay Thompson back, hey, they might just be okay. They might not have to make a big time deal.
Real quick, yeah. People who hate on the Warriors. Let me be clear real quick. I only hate the Warriors because KD joined them. Aside from that, I was fine with how they built their team. This is a drafted team. Mm-hmm. Like they brought these players in and developed them. Clay, Steph, Harrison Barnes when he was here, Draymond. Now you bringing in more players that's gonna fit. They're 19 years old, and y'all gonna let these folks do it again. Yeah. Grizzlies, it's cool. It's cool.
What I tell you, take 2 steps forward on the last 5. Oh, never mind.
Yeah. But I think it's pretty much a sweep across the board. It's safe to say that the Detroit Pistons, Houston Rockets, and the Golden State Warriors were the clear winners of this draft. Can't believe I'm giving Chris Wallace credit for actually drafting well with this.
He kind of had no choice.
Yeah. But getting Jalen Green, of course, with the second overall pick, as well as getting Josh Christopher from Arizona State. Those two, alongside with KPJ, who had a strong showing in the G League and a strong showing to the second half of the season for the Rockets. Sky's the limit there for them. They needed talent. They needed talent, and they got it with those. Golden State, as Sharky just mentioned, as Stu just mentioned, is rebuild and reload. That's pretty much what has been the mantra for the Warriors since they drafted Steph for this matter. And then with the Pistons, they're basically just handing Cade the keys to the city, giving them something to be excited about, giving them a star that they can actually sell to the city to pair along with the young talent that they have. And then, of course, with Dwayne Casey being the coach. So it's really just open and shut with those 3 teams. You couldn't.
Cool. All right. So, I mean, I guess we are losers for actually giving Chris Wallace his flowers, right? That's something I don't think I'll be doing today either. But you know what? It's a new year, but whatever, bro. Who are y'all losers for the draft?
So my loser, I don't even know if they drafted anybody. I don't even care. The biggest draft loser, in my opinion, Philadelphia 76ers. One, why did y'all want so much for Ben Simmons? And I'm like the president of the Ben Simmons fan club, right? Why did y'all want 4 first-round picks, James Wiseman, Andrew Wiggins, the Golden State Warriors mascot? Like, why did y'all want so much for Ben Simmons? And 2, you heard rumors about, leading up to the draft that, Ben Simmons is going to get traded, draft night, whatever. And it didn't happen. And so now players have already been drafted. So now you got to look at next year's draft to see if you're going to get anybody in. And I don't know how the draft looks for next year or whatever, but, like, you stuck with Ben Simmons right now, who does not want to be there. And right now, it's just like it's a lot of incompetency because you got Doc as a coach, Daryl Morey, who has questionable moves as a GM. I think it's Elton Brand as well, who's just doing questionable stuff in general. So the Sixers, they in trouble. They got to figure something out, and nobody's going to trade 4 first-round picks for Ben Simmons. I would not do that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what they're doing with Ben Simmons. Free Ben Simmons. I'm part of that train now, Trevor. So free that man. Let him hoop somewhere else. But
whoa, I'm free Joel Embiid because the Sixers don't deserve him.
I'm free both of them. Yeah. both of them. Because it's a mess.
I again shot in the dirt. They should have had Oklahoma City on the phone trying to get SGA and SGA or Colin Sexton. Something you have to do something with them. So, but go ahead, Skylar. That's my bad.
Can I be real?
Where we stay at?
I'm sorry. The Grizzlies and what they did was not recommended at all. It's a thumbs down. You know, not even just what they did, because it's hard to ignore everything that they did before the draft and during the draft. It's really hard to not put all that together and say, I'm not sure how Zach Hyman can just say, yeah, like I killed that. Like I'm not sure how he can comfortably sleep at night and just say, like, damn, I had a solid week and what I did moving parts around with the roster, to trade JB, to take on Eric Bledsoe, to go from 17 to 10, and then to reach and take Zaire Williams. I'm sorry, that's just way too much for me. You can't not mention the Grizzlies as somebody that that wanted, like, they, in my opinion, lost this trade. I'm not sure, like, I believe everybody across the board, outside of people who work for the Grizzlies, can say like that was a solid draft. Like that draft, like what they did at 10, what they did at 30, were complete reaches. And I hope to God that I'm wrong when I say that. I hope that I'm wrong, because again, you let Book Night go right to Charlotte right after you.
You let 5 minutes.
You let Moody go to the Golden State Warriors. Like, I hope they saw something in Zaire Williams that we didn't see. I'll say that. I'm not knocking the player. He would have been available at 17. Is all I have to say. He would have been available at 17, and you didn't have to do everything that you did to move down 7 spots to take somebody who, again, I believe was there at 17. I'll leave it at that.
Real quick about the Grizzlies. One thing that, and this goes with all the teams in the city, that's the Tigers, football, basketball, and even the Grizzlies with basketball. You have to have your ear to the streets about what the city wants. If the city want Moses Moody, who's like from Little Rock, down the street in Arkansas, Fayetteville, go get Moses Moody, man. Like if anything, if Moses Moody goes bad, nobody will blame Kleiman. Nobody will do it, because that's what everybody in the city wanted. So to not get him and to get Zaire Williams, who could be a good player, we'll see. I'm willing to give him a chance, but Moses Moody has a 7-foot wingspan, can shoot
in your hand.
Can play defense. That's what you needed along with Ja. You needed some shooters. You know what I'm saying? I'll wait on Zaire, but I will be watching some Warriors games, not only for Wiseman, but also for Moses Moody. So yeah, I'm disappointed as a Grizz fan.
To play devil's advocate, if you're watching this, please listen to the Star and 5 podcast that releases on Mondays, and you will hear our rebuttal as well, because we don't have to go into it. But trust me, there are people on this file who have different opinions like myself, but I think the Grizz did good on that one. If I were to pick, I'll go with, honestly, the Orlando Magic. I think the Magic, even though they did pick the best available, which was Jalen Suggs, no disrespect to him, you put him into a backcourt that's filled with, was it Cole Anthony, RJ Hampton, and my guy, #free Markelle Fultz. So it's like you got 4 point guards in this thing, and now it's like, well, what are y'all doing, Magic? They drafted, was it Franz Wagner, who was a great, pretty solid defensive player, pretty good shooter in Michigan. But, I mean, what are you doing with your backcourt? So I think you're going to have a logjam with that. And if you don't get anything for those, once the moves are needed to be made for 1 or 2 of these point guards, then I think this definitely turns into an L for the Orlando Magic. But what y'all doing out there, Savage, with the Knicks? Oh, that's right. You ain't with the Knicks no more. Never mind. My bad. I forgot you with the Knicks no more. My bad.
Relax. Grimes. We got shooters. What you mean? We was top 4 in percentage from 3. We getting better. I'm still coaching. What you mean?
I mean, as far as the draft. Like y'all got some pretty decent players. What was it? Around the 20 picks?
Nah, he said he wasn't coaching them folks no more, bro. You can't change your mind.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's true too. I need to know.
When we got Quentin Grimes, I said, hold on, man. I'll come back. You know,
no, bro, man, you don't deserve my guy Keon Johnson, bro. No.
That's true. Yes, I think we need to put a deadline on like, are you gonna coach? Because we ain't trying to have no person on the bandwagon.
Give me to when 2K come out.
You got a month. Sorry, who do you think the loser?
Information always changes with that man, bro. I swear. All right, I got Toronto. Jalen Suggs was the obvious pick. Jalen Suggs and Fred VanVleet together. I really was ready to see that and not see 5 point guards in Orlando. But I don't follow Orlando because you took the best player available. He was right there. So you just figured that out. Scotty Barnes. Now Jalen Suggs. I'm sorry. I don't think Scotty Barnes is bad at anything, but he doesn't have we don't like the word potential, but Jalen Suggs could be good right now, and his potential is better down the line than Scotty Barnes. That's just my opinion on that. So yeah, Toronto is the loser to me for that pick.
For me, and this probably could have been another case of taking best player available. I'm actually going to go with the Sacramento Kings as a loser. They took Davion Mitchell with the 9th pick in the draft. Yet another guard with their backcourt already set with De'Aaron Fox and Tyrese Halliburton. You've heard just recently Buddy Hield's name in trade talks. Could have easily taken Moody, James Bouknight, something of that caliber to fill in that role that Buddy Hield had. And now you have a 3rd point guard on the roster who, let's just be honest, is not going to see a whole lot of time. And it's just same story, different chapter for the Kings at this point. But of course, all you guys' choices was great as well. But yeah, if I had to choose one, it would be the Sacramento Kings.
That became Sacramento Queens again.
Oof.
Ooh,
I'll never forget Shaq saying it. So who has the most point guards? Sacramento or Orlando?
Gotta be Orlando.
I think
Orlando.
They got Mike Carter Williams. That's 5 point guards. Yeah. They got 5 point guards.
You got Chase on Randall.
Too bad for your Markel folks then.
No, free him.
Free
How many times he gonna need to be freed?
Thank you. Come on, Sarky. Come on, man.
Until he get up there to find his actual worth.
What you said, Savage?
I said he was playing good before he got hurt.
He was.
He playing great.
Yeah, he was playing really good.
Yeah. I say free him at this point.
Free him. Let him go.
Come on.
Let him fly.
Or
Fly, baby, fly. We gotta watch Major Payne tonight.
Right.
Let's go NFL.
All right. So the exact comments for this particular quarterback, arguably the best quarterback in the league, some people. But Aaron Rodgers has been disgruntled with the Green Bay Packers for quite a long time. And it's funny because it seems like history is repeating itself, because I feel like I just remember Brett Favre being disgruntled with the Green Bay Packers because of Aaron Rodgers, who sat, 3 years? And now Jordan Love is going into year 2. So really it'd be year 3 when he starts. So it's kind of fun how that happens. But basically, Aaron Rodgers did come out. He had a press conference where he just literally had no filter and just kept it all the way G and said, I don't have beef with the city or the team, but I have beef with how, his situation was handled. He said he doesn't want to be like a lame duck quarterback, and essentially he is, but he did come out recently, I think like yesterday or something like that, where he said he's all in on, this season. But knowing what y'all know about Aaron Rodgers, the Green Bay Packers, how do y'all feel about him this season and the Packers in general? Like, are they going to go with Jordan Love next year? Is Jordan Love even good? We don't even know because he ain't played since college. But how y'all feel about that?
I believe Aaron Rodgers is going after this year. I wholeheartedly believe that. I do not believe Jordan Love can play, because if Packers GM felt as if he could play, I felt there would have been so much back and forth with Green Bay or the management of Green Bay and Aaron Rodgers. If there was even an inclination of, okay, he can probably play, he just need more reps, then you probably at some point would have seen something to the likes of that being said, or something they would have done to give you that belief. I don't believe the man can play, to be completely real with you. And I believe Green Bay has totally burned that bridge or that relationship with Aaron Rodgers to the point where that's why they've gotten to the point where I think this is his last season in Green Bay and he's gone. I've always been of the mindset, if you have a player of that caliber, whether that's LeBron James, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, whatever the case may be, if they want somebody, go get them. I'm not sure why it took them as long as it has to get him what they wanted. They finally went and get the man Randall Cobb. I'm sorry, Randall Cobb. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers want Randall Cobb, then go get Randall Cobb. But I'm sorry, the man is over 30 and he's making $10 million a year. But I just don't understand why it took them so long to get him what he wanted. He ran through that list of players that that they didn't give a contract to or lowballed for a reason. Like, I mean, because he at the end of the day, he wanted those players, and to have not given those players the money that they wanted, or at least not have tried to draft a quarterback and not even mention the words to that man that you're drafting a quarterback, like, and you moved up to get him. Like, I would feel a certain type of way if I'm Aaron Rodgers too. Like, if you want to, like, I think it was Tom Brady that said, like, management for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, like, said, hey, we understand you're our quarterback, but we're going to draft whatever quarterback it was recently that they went to go draft. And he was like, okay, cool, bet. That's all that needed to be said. Give me the communication that you're going to be doing that. But if you're constantly not, re-upping my receivers, if you're constantly, firing my offensive coordinator who I have a relationship with, if you're not giving the money to the running backs that I want or that I feel like can be on the team, then what the hell am I doing here? Like, you're seeing that I'm getting you to the playoffs. I need X, Y, and Z player or these caliber players to get us over the hump, and you're not doing it. I would have an issue with that. So that's been my whole ordeal with them. They just haven't communicated with him or asked him, okay, this is your 5, this is your 6, whatever the case may be. What do you want? They haven't, Antonio Brown, I said this last year, Antonio Brown was out there as a free agent for the longest. And you saw what he did with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Like, Julio Jones was out there. He wanted a trade. Go get Julio. If you tried it and then you struck out, then that's understandable. But to not even make the effort to go get those players who are literally sitting there, like, I would feel a certain type of way if I was Aaron Rodgers too. I think this is his last year in Green Bay.
Right, I couldn't agree more with literally everything you just said. You hit the hammer right on the head as far as the Packers not trusting Jordan Love, right? Like, I kind of get those vibes too. And I think that if they did have any kind of sense of knowing how good he was, or his potential, then we wouldn't be in this situation. But now they're going to be, looking at themselves next year when they get nothing back for a player who said they literally don't want to be there. I mean, that's just incompetent front office management at its finest. Like, if I got to start an MVP, if I got an MVP player that say I don't want to be here, then let me go get something or some pieces that can help me for the future, because he still is MVP Aaron Rodgers. You don't get him, like you said, you hit everything on the head. You don't get him no help. You don't get any receivers that's been out here for the longest. Aaron Rodgers and AB would have been crazy last season. Crazy. But he went to Tampa Bay and helped win a ring and got a touchdown in that Super Bowl. So, I mean, it is what it is. So I'm really hoping and happy that this is Aaron Rodgers' last year. As far as I'm going to go draft a quarterback conversation goes with Aaron Rodgers, I think that that's a different kind of thing with Tom Brady. And why I say that is because Tom Brady just went to the Bucs. So you saying, hey, I'm going to draft a quarterback after you, is kind of like, okay, cool. It's kind of more there with him. But to have an egotistical maniac that we all have said that Aaron Rodgers is, I don't think you can have that conversation and him not feel away. But like I said, this is incompetent front office management one-on-one, and we're seeing it with the Packers. So next year they're going to regret not getting anything back for MVP Aaron Rodgers. Like, it's crazy.
And not only is Aaron Rodgers what got to do it next year, so is Devontae Adams, because they are lowballing him right now.
99. Mr. 99.
At same exact time. Such a shame. Such a shame. But as for the thing with Aaron Rodgers, but they readjusted the contract. where they can void off, I guess, a year earlier. But next year, I guess it's written somewhere where if he decides to demand a trade, they got to acknowledge it next year, no matter what. So he's out. He's about to play his last season. Do I think he's gonna go all out and win the Super Bowl? Yeah. I mean, he's like what 30? He's 38 years old. He got no choice. He can't just be like, hey, I'm just gonna flop this year. Like he ain't got much time left to keep winning. So yeah, he gonna go all out. But he saw Tom Brady. Got to Tampa Bay. He saw Tom Brady get what he wanted when he got to Tampa Bay, and that was obvious with Gronkowski coming out of retirement and they making a trade for him, signing AB. He saw that. He saw them win the Super Bowl, and he said, hey, that's what I want. That's why I haven't got it. Give it to me. So long, Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams after next season. And Trevor, back.
Yeah, I'm back. Technical difficulties. Sorry about that, folks. Aaron Rodgers situation. I'll just keep it short and sweet. This is last season in Green Bay. Front office hasn't done right about him, obviously. As much as we give Aaron Rodgers flack for being the way that he is, he's absolutely right in this situation. Front office hasn't done right by him as far as surrounding him with the correct talent, whether it's reeing up receivers or even going to get a receiver, and then having the gall to take a quarterback who hasn't seen the field yet, probably won't see the field. So Green Bay will be right back in the playoffs because I don't see much pushback from the NFC North. The Vikings will be where they are. They have Kirk Cousins. The Bears are rebuilding as well as the Lions. So they'll be back in the playoffs. They'll probably lose again, and then that'll just be it for the Packers. With the Packers in the Aaron Rodgers era, that is.
So with the Packers, I look at the Packers and I see like an arrogant franchise. Like, yeah, y'all have to understand that y'all have had three of the greatest quarterbacks of all time: Bart Starr, Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers. I'm not sure how Bart Starr's time ended, but like Brett Favre was kind of weird. Aaron Rodgers is weird. Ladies and gentlemen, there is no Aaron Rodgers behind Aaron Rodgers right now. Jordan Love, I've never seen him play. I have no faith. Like Sally said, I have zero faith in Jordan Love. And so I think what's going to happen is Green Bay is about to become the Boston Celtics of the NFL. And it may be worse, in my opinion. Boston is an arrogant franchise that think that we can do things a certain way and yield results. Boston has won like one ring in like 30 years, maybe even a little bit longer than that. Green Bay, they won their last ring in 2010. Before that, and they had Aaron Rodgers in his prime. Before that was 96 with Brett Favre in his prime. Before that was Super Bowl 1 and 2. So there has been gaps in between Green Bay and winning. And like I said, there is no Aaron Rodgers behind Aaron Rodgers right now. Nobody's going to Green Bay as a free agent. So when Aaron Rodgers, and then you see how they treat star players. So like Sharky said, Devontae Adams is gone next year. He's about to go somewhere else and get paid. So you left with Jordan Love and some scraps in Green Bay. Meanwhile, down the street, you got Justin Fields, who's in Chicago. He can be ready in a couple years. Minnesota got a nice offense. They'll get a quarterback at some point. And the Lions, I don't know. But Green Bay.
They'll get a quarterback at some point. There you go.
Yeah, Green Bay, it ain't looking too hot. If you're asking me as a player, I'd rather go play for the Vikings. I'd rather go play for the Bears, not the Lions, but one of those two teams.
Yeah, the Lions are just as bad. They're not arrogant. They just badly run. Let's like that.
They just
and they play indoors.
So yeah, it's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough for Green Bay. And I think it's gonna be a drought for them for a long time. Once Aaron Rodgers, it's gonna be a long drought, and we're gonna wonder like, what the heck happened to Green Bay? This is what happened to Green Bay. They treat their players wrong, so I think it's gonna be a long drought for them.
Such a shame. Crazy.
Also, real quick, this might be a troll or not, and this is contingent upon the success of this team upcoming. I think if I'm the Titans, I'm watching very closely. Aaron Rodgers. I'm watching very closely.
Oh, don't worry. I had this season. Don't worry. I thought I was tighten up. I was like, Ryan Tannehill don't pull some off this shit. You know, yeah. Don't worry.
I'm watching very closely.
You on the same wavelength. But crazy transition to L of the month for the Green Bay Packers. We didn't have them on the list, but might as well.
It's our show. We'll add them to the list.
Green Bay Packers here. Yeah, they get him for one more year. So in that sense, that is a W because technically they didn't supposed to get him for this season. So guess the somewhat a W, but in the long term, no, and the W is L. No matter what happens this year, because in the future, potentially in the future, I like the Grizzlies. We thinking they're gonna have a positive future. Maybe that stuff works out and we have a positive future. Green Bay is going the whole opposite of the way. We know they're going nosedive down to the bottom. So Green Bay, we add them L of the month. ESPN, Rita Taylor left and went to NBC. 2 days?
That was a major flex too. That was a major flex. Like, soon as she got done with the finals, she popped up at the Olympics. I was like, good for you.
With an entire bag, by the way.
Yes.
Not even just leaving, ESPN got it, but with an entire bag. That is a flex.
Lost a great talent. Then I saw a video she did today on YouTube. She took some shots at Reggie Nichols and ESPN and stuff. But I'm gonna share that video with y'all later. I liked it.
All right.
I ain't seen that. Shut up, bro. I ain't seen that.
I just randomly saw it this morning. I need to find it. You did it on TikTok.
Come on, Queen.
She deserves W. We're gonna do the flowers next week. That's a preview of the flowers segment next week. Kendra Perkins. DeAndre Ayton, David Robinson, bro. Golly, why you had to do Dayton? Why you had to do D Ayton like that, bro? He had to do DeAndre Ayton like that. Like, he set them man up for failure, and that's exactly what he did.
Yeah, he really did.
Golly,
really, it could be Kendrick Perkins, period, for his entire comments on the
last couple weeks.
Moses,
the last couple weeks.
Well, the last couple weeks, yeah.
Moody, Moses,
Marty, Marty,
so bad. You ever just think that, like, dang, why my TV buffering? Because I'm watching it. Like, why do you keep saying that? I thought my TV was buffering.
Now, come on, bro. Do you not read the Bible? Moses. Oh, man.
Jalen Rose getting on him about this suit.
All right, man.
Yeah, that was great.
Oh man. And also PJ Washington. Y'all don't know about the Instagram model and Brittany Renner.
What happened with her?
Right, I don't know that story.
I let Trevor explain the story.
Yeah, what happened with her?
It's a basic story. So Brittany Renner, this IG model, fine as a mother. I'll definitely give her that.
Okay.
So of course she has been on record and has talked about this, sleeping with numerous athletes, entertainers, people in pop culture, or whatever. So PJ Washington enters the fray. Those two were quote unquote dating. She has a child basically, and has a child. Then she eventually breaks up with him, and then PJ hops on Twitter and tweets, "Oh, so you was faking the whole time." So yeah, so essentially she played him. So now that's
a W. I'm not paying for her.
It was a W for her, yeah. So now she's, I think, looking at least $100K a month in child support.
Damn,
off of this whole thing. So tough. It's tough out here.
I ain't saying she a gold digger.
Wait, hold on. Actually, like 33 or 34. He like
27.
Nah, she young.
She's 22. So yeah.
How old is PJ?
22.
See, there it is. Young blood. He probably saw her and was like, man, I'm in high school. If I go to the NBA, I'm gonna pull her.
No, here's the thing though. It was a pitch. No, here's the thing. She was scoping him out in Kentucky because there's a picture circulating with her at a Kentucky basketball game, rocking the Kentucky sweatshirt. So,
bruh, she a child molester. What is that?
Boy,
hey, stay away from her, y'all. Stay away from her. Don't do that.
I used to follow her on Snapchat back in the day. That's good. Think she messed with Colin Kaepernick before in the past and stuff. So
she wrote a book, didn't it? Did she have a book or something?
Yes, she has a book talking about all of this.
Yeah.
Pineapples.
Like, exactly, pineapple.
Y'all know black people don't
You should
read.
did your research, bro.
Y'all know black people don't read. Shit, I ain't doing no damn research.
Anyways, who's your L?
Oh man.
I'm gonna say ESPN, Rachel Nichols, man. Just because ESPN been taking a lot of L's recently. They programming has the value of it has deteriorated. I have not watched ESPN in so long, y'all. If it ain't like the game, the finals, and what leads up to the game,
yeah,
I am not watching. I'm not watching First Take, Sports Center, whatever else is on. I just don't. I look on Twitter and get highlights, or y'all tag me in them. I'm gonna say ESPN.
The only thing I watch on ESPN is games itself. Now NFL Live is good.
Yeah,
I like NFL.
Yeah, I get
NFL. Outside of that, it ain't getting watched, dog. I agree with Savage. It's just how hard she flexed on them. Like, because I mean, they've lost talent before, and I think just because it's ESPN and everything that comes with it, you're going to always get the next best talent. You know, ESPN, they don't bring on reporters, or they don't just really develop talent. They always get somebody from Fox or ESPN, but it's the way in which she flexed on them that I believe is why they deserve it.
Are we giving Cole L of the month? Can we do Cole?
Lowercase L and capital
L. Cole L of the month will go to ESPN for the situation with Rachel Nichols and Maria Taylor, and Kendrick Perkins for his behavior over the last few weeks as an employee of ESPN. Of course, the whole David Robinson comparison, calling Chris Middleton Batman, not knowing how to say Moses Moody. Not knowing how to say Moses Moody in the middle of the draft. And ESPN, they're probably going to have him back to cover the draft. So he's going to have an opportunity to mispronounce even more names.
I think he was only covering the draft because Jay Will, I think he's still coming back from COVID. I think that was the only reason they put Perk on there.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's the only reason he got it.
I got to do a code. ESPN and Kendrick Perkins.
I guess I'd be the different one, man. Like, if information don't change and it's right in front of you and you don't believe the information, then you an idiot, man. So my L would be the PJ Washington, man. I definitely get what y'all mean with ESPN. They'll definitely find another. Shout out to Malika Andrews. Like, they messed her up. It's wrapped up.
That's true.
Like, she been killing it. She got it all. So they messed up with her. Like, it's a wrap with them. But PJ, like, you saw the writings on the wall, bro. Like,
Commandment number 2, man. Commandment number 2.
Golly, $100.
Commandment number 2.
So that mean I don't even think he getting paid that much. Like, how much? I don't even know his contract.
He's still on his rookie deal.
I thought so. He's still on his rookie deal. And he was Charlotte, so I don't know. MJ might hook him up. I don't know.
$100K in child support a month is.
Yeah, that's
child support rules, man. That's ridiculous. $100,000.
I'm gonna make sure Bianca don't ever put me on child support.
Yeah,
it's cheaper to keep her, man. It's cheaper to keep her.
Oh man,
we should get married first. At least make it difficult for us to get.
There you go.
Shoot.
Just a preview to the giving flowers segment. Malika Andrews is going to be my choice. Just the fact, like, she covered the finals, did great. She started off covering Milwaukee, so it was very fitting that she got to cover the finals in Milwaukee wins the finals. So it was a very fitting. They all came full circle. So I loved everything about that.
Shout out to the Black Queens in general, man. Y'all got Maria Taylor in the Olympics. That's dope.
And so I thought, dang, about to do the flowers, man. Shout out to our own making But I'm gonna get it, man. We're just going ESPN 3. It's already vote ESPN. Y'all get them out of here. But they haven't had L of the month yet, so they got to get it.
Cool with me.
Gonna get ESPN up out of here. Too. Unfortunately, PJ Washington, unfortunate situation, unfortunate circumstances, but he can make it out of it. He did it to himself.
That's messed up though, because like when you sign your first deal after your rookie deal, she gonna be right. That's messed up. But anyway,
so
rule 2, commandment number 2, man. Commandment number 2.
Excuse me, good people. Hold this L.
Shout out to BLJ, man. Came on starting 5 with us a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody got anything else? Next week we'll be starting back with the realists. With the NFL, Savage.
Let's get this.
Who doing first, y'all? Who doing first? Quarterbacks, running backs, receivers.
Let's switch it up. Let's switch it up a little bit. Let's switch it up.
Running backs?
Yeah, Alvin. Bruce said Alvin Kamara #1. We doing running backs first. I need to see something.
I want to do safeties and DBs because I saw Minka Fitzpatrick at 10, and I got all types of issues.
You want 10? You want 10?
Who had Fitzpatrick at 10?
I thought I saw Fitzpatrick. I thought I saw Minka Fitzpatrick at like 10. I'm talking about DBs.
I won't smoke. I won't smoke.
Oh, Madden ratings.
If it's Madden ratings, then
I mean, but still, 10 is like. Nah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
A lot of people.
10 is like.
He at least top 2.
Madden is a soft.
And he ain't too.
That is a soft video game, period, and gameplay. So I ain't forgetting that.
Minka Fitzpatrick is top 2, and he ain't 2. So, like, come on.
Am I hating to say I don't see how Devontae Adams a part of the 99 club? Am I hating or?
I mean, I'm biased because he put up like 250 yards in the first half against us, and he got hurt. So I don't know. I don't know, man. He had 2 touchdowns. I can't talk.
But that's coming back this week. Anything else?
University of Memphis Tiger basketball news. More is on.
Oh yeah,
right. I will say that.
Vicksburg County. It'll be 2-for-1 this week. I'll cover training camp, and then I will cover the first preseason game. Just thoughts and everything.
Football is almost
football is back, baby. Yes.
Speaking of that, football. We had to come in earlier.
Yeah. But real quick on football, I am doing this week. I'm doing an AFC NFL on IDK. AFC NFL questions that need answers. So AFC football team, I'm doing QTNAs for every team in the AFC. If you are a fan of AFC team, Titans, Steelers, Patriots, ain't gonna be long. Ain't gonna be long. I promise ain't gonna be long. Stop it.
Are you doing at least
Sunday morning?
So you're doing at least one for each team, pretty much.
Yeah, it's gonna be real quick comments.
Yeah, I figured it'd be quick, just one for each team. Yeah, gotcha.
So I'm bringing up AFC and NFC. I'm bringing it up.
Nice. And Tuesday night, you can catch me live with a guest, Coach Bourne from you see him on Twitter. Savage follow him. He's actually a cousin of Stephen there. So let's probably up Tuesday night.
Man. That's what's up.
We moving out here.
Tonight, y'all can find me somewhere downtown on somebody bargain. All the way gone.
Happy birthday, man. Happy birthday.
I'll be somewhere. I don't know. I ain't gonna know where I'm at, but it is what it is.
We'll find you.
Hey, y'all find me.
All right. Till next time. Peace.